All right. Hello. I'm just going to make this video and stop putting this off. Hi, I'm Anthony. We've talked like once or twice, but I've had something on my heart for quite a while, and I've been praying about it and just thinking it through and waiting and wanting to have the right thing to say and wanting to say it the right way. But I've been wanting to talk to you about I guess you would call it outreach, but not, I don't think it's in the way that it is typically done. Not planned events or, you know, having a set time for a group of people to go do outreach, but instead doing it the way that it was done at a church that I used to go to, where everybody, uh, well, I'll just say the church I used to go to, everybody would go out and they would hand out church cards and talk to people, invite them to church, or even give them rides to church if they wanted to go and needed a ride. It was when I was in the Marine Corps. Me and all the guys that were lived on base. We would go on base and we'd invite people out, give them rides, and we'd do that every week. Um, and then the people that were in the church that were not in the military, they would go out in town, go door to door, invite people, and that's something we did every single week. I was in that church for 6 years, and we did it the entire time I was in that church. Um, it was a very good experience, and it let me see how effective that is. I personally, just from that experience, I wouldn't actually recommend doing it like that. Not that it's a bad thing to do it like that, but what I'm suggesting that we do at this church is um, make it a way of life, a way of just a way of life to have church cards, and whenever you're out in public, whenever you are out getting gas or groceries or just doing your normal things out in public, just praying each day, asking God for an opportunity to invite someone to church, and having a card, something to hand the person you want to talk to. It just makes it easier. It just makes it less intimidating. You have that card in your hand. It gives you something to externalize your inhibition, your nerves, and you can, it's just a fidget. Something you can fidget with when you're talking to them, and it gives you something physical to hand them. And there's just something about giving somebody something, even if it's just a church card. It does, I think it makes a difference for the person inviting the person, and also for the person being invited. It's something that they can hold on to, and you're not just leaving them with nothing, because they might even be interested, but the second you're not standing in front of them, they've forgotten about you and whatever you're talking about. And of course, our enemy wants them to forget. So that's what can happen. But yeah, so the way we would do it, or the way me and some of the guys would do it, is we'd have a notepad, and of course we were going out and looking for people to talk to. We'd do that every week for an hour or two or however long, and we would, when you talk to somebody and they're interested, you'd write down their name, maybe get their number, follow up with them, and it's kind of like doing door-to-door sales, really. There were times that I did not like doing it at all, of course, but of course there were times where it was very rewarding. You ask someone if they have a church they go to, and 5 seconds later they're pouring their heart out to you and talking about how they've been desperately wanting to go to church, and connect with God, and you know, in 6 years I had a whole lot of those experiences, and it's amazing. And it really is as simple as having a church card to hand them and asking them if they have a church they go to, and that's it. And God can open all kinds of amazing doors through that. And I saw it for 6 years. I saw how effective it is, and anybody can do it. If I can do it, absolutely anybody can do it, because I'm not the type of person who's good at any of that, but I was able to do it, but doing it like that is much harder than what I'm talking about. Going around looking for people to talk to is a lot more nerve-wracking than just knowing, okay, I'm going to have a posture of looking for opportunities. When I'm out, I'm already out. I'm getting gas, I'm getting groceries, and I just, as a way of life, I'm just going to have this way of thinking. God, give me an opportunity today, and then when I'm out, if I have an opportunity, if that's your way of life and that's your way of thinking, then that's something for God to work with. God can lead you to talk to somebody, and you've already got it in your mind to do it. It's a possibility you're aware of. That's something for God to work with. And I would absolutely love to see this church implement that. And the best thing about it is it doesn't take oversight. You don't have to plan an event. It takes just a little bit of encouragement, reminding, maybe a little bit of a guidance. I mean, what I've said in this video is enough guidance that this church could be overflowing if we just made everybody part of the mission. I truly believe everybody, not everybody, but pretty much everybody that goes to it, genuinely saved, loves God. Most people go to church and they want to be useful, but they just don't know how. Maybe it's like, or they just feel like it's not possible. They're too busy, they're already overwhelmed, they're barely keeping up. I mean, that's how most people feel, and I understand that. But I believe this is truly the best option for giving everybody an opportunity to feel useful and be useful, and actually do what I believe every Christian is called to do. I believe this is what every Christian should be doing. And honestly, I think the only thing the church really needs to do is provide some church cards and a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of guidance. I truly believe that's all it would take. I mean, I've seen it in action. It's of course, the way that church did it was a little bit different, but I have absolutely no doubt if this church were to implement this, this church would be overflowing. You'd need more than one service every Sunday. It would be amazing. I would love to see this happen. I've been praying about this and making this video off for quite a while, because I want it to happen, and I don't want to bring it up and then it not happen, and just be disappointed and just be sad about it, because I really would like this to happen. But it's not up to me, I know. So I'm gonna just give you this video, and I'll leave it at that. And I know it's not my responsibility what this church does or doesn't do, but I got some notes, so let me make sure I want to cover everything. I know this is going. I can go for a while once I start talking, but yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I'm sure you are overloaded with things and responsibilities, I have no doubt, and so is everyone else in the church, and everybody serving. if I can in any way be useful in making this happen, I would love to do that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to say. Um, like I say, I've only got to talk to you maybe once or twice, saying hi, but uh, I love you. You're a great pastor. I love your teaching and appreciate you, and I appreciate this church. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. God bless you, and thank you for listening.